Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Cabral.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here today with episode 2487 of the Cabral Concept. We're going to be getting into 6 more questions from the Cabral HouseCalls. This is the weekend edition of our show. Hopefully, you've been a listener for quite some time of the Cabral Concept. But if not, every Saturday and Sunday, what we do is we answer questions that have come in through stevencabral.com/ask Cabral. Just before you submit your own question, my highest recommendation is just to remember that it takes about 12 weeks for me to read it live, just because of the queue that we have. And second, you can actually ask the question and get same-day answers at cabralsupportgroup.com. So I highly recommend that. And the amazing Michelle or Daniel will actually probably share with you a podcast if you haven't already looked it up, where I have answered the same exact question or very, very similar. So if you go to stevencabral.com/podcasts, you can proactively just use that search box as well to type in something, such as Hashimoto's or migraines or any obscure illness as well. And honestly, it's probably come up over the last 6 or 7 years. All right. But if not, always do feel free to leave that question. And I do read every single one as I open up the document. So again, no prior planning has been done. What I do is I open the document just as I'm doing right now, and I give you my recommendation. Again, no medical advice, no medical treatment plans, no medical cures, no medical, what's the last one? Diagnosis. And what I do is I share with you essentially the knowledge that I've been fortunate enough to accumulate over the past 25 plus years in working with over 250,000 client appointments in our practice. And so, well, let's get started. So Donna's up first, and Donna's question is, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I recently was diagnosed with renal AML of 1.3 centimeters in focal nodular neoplasm of my liver was noticed on my ultrasound. I need to now do an MRI to further investigate. I can't find any archived podcasts on these issues. Some background info. I was on birth control for 8 years, from 14 to 22. In the last 2 years, I took antibiotics 8 times for urinary tract infections. I'm someone who normally never takes medication." Sorry, lost my place there. "I eat well, I don't drink or smoke, but I've undergone a lot of stress since becoming a mom 4 years ago, and I feel like it's been like that since my health is beginning to deteriorate. I juggle motherhood with running my own growing business. I'll be running the Big 5 in 2 weeks, and I'm convinced they will shed more light on my health. Any input would be helpful. Will these tumors ever go away in your experience? Thanks so much." Okay, so yeah, one of the things is a lot of these are just benign masses, tumors, you can call them, cysts, however you like to describe them, and many people have them. So there's a couple reasons why. Diagnosis of these things is just so much better now. And the reason is that our ultrasound and overall technology is so much better. I remember being somewhere around 25, 26 years old, and I had a scan done of my lungs. And back then, before the age of 27, I was getting pneumonia every winter. And that's because my immune system was in such bad shape. You shouldn't be 20 getting pneumonia, but I was. I got it 5 out of 6 years. And really, really unfortunate, but nevertheless, it taught me a lot, right? And I eventually figured out how to get well, and that's what I do today, right? Try to share that information with everybody all around the world on a daily basis. So the thing is, these nodules are oftentimes like no big deal, but again, a 1.3 centimeter nodule in your eye or near your, actually, this one's what, kidney? Yeah, kidney based. May or may not be anything. It's again, let's let your doctors and specialists, that's not my expertise, right? So they're the ones reading these scans. They'll tell you what it is. Now, I can tell you this, your Big 5 will enlighten you as to what's going on with all the inflammation and the underlying root cause in your body. Second is that check out my podcast that I've done on proteolytic enzymes. So 2 parts. 1, free information always on the podcast. Please do check out proteolytic enzymes at stevencabral.com/podcast. If you can't find it, just ask inside cabralsupportgroup.com. And then go to StephenCabral.com/shop. Just type in proteolytic enzymes, see what they're about. You never have to use the Equilife-based product, but we use these all the time to clean up the blood, to clean up cysts that shouldn't be there, things like that. Again, not providing any treatment plans, but they're very, very helpful. I literally have them on my desk right now, not because I ever knew that I was going to talk about this, because I take one every morning, basically upon waking. And so that's that. The serving is actually 2 capsules. You can do one upon waking, one before bed. That's a nice way to split it up, or just 2 in the morning on an empty stomach is the best way to do it. And again, you can do double the dosage as needed. All right. Maria is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I would love to hear your thoughts on lecithin as a supplement. Do you recommend it? If so, how does it support your body and what benefits are there? I've heard it connected to cognitive function, nerves, skin, cholesterol, etc. Could it be helpful for someone who has signs of dementia? What about when there's loss of sensitivity, tingling, and numbness in the lower parts of the legs and feet? Is there any particular risk being low in lecithin? Many thanks for all you do. Your podcast is my encyclopedia on all health-related matters. Well, I appreciate that. And, I don't know if I've done a podcast specifically on lecithin itself, but it is something that I recommend, but typically just through food basis. Now, and here's why. I'm going to share with you exactly what it is and what it means. But most people will get enough lecithin through good quality, pasture-raised or grass-fed meats, wild-based fish, eggs that are pastured-based eggs, green veggies, cruciferous vegetables, legumes, dal, black beans, even some organ meat that seems to be popular now. So you're typically going to get a good amount from those things, especially if you're eating your cruciferous vegetables like I recommend. But I will say this. We typically use the fully formed version, which is like acetylcholine. So acetylcholine is tremendous for the mind, the brain, Alzheimer's, dementia, the nervous system, etc. But when you get it from food, the lecithin, lecithin in general is really great at helping to mobilize fats. So when you hear, it's really helpful for the brain, it's really helpful for cholesterol, it's really helpful for the nerves. Yes, it is. And that's because it helps your body boost your metabolism through the use and breakdown utilization of fat. And that can include cholesterol and lipids. So yes, I am a proponent of it. I never use it as a supplement. I shouldn't say never. I've recommended it before by the brand Kyolic. It's a white and yellow label. I'm trying to do this by memory from a long time ago, but it's there like number 104. I believe it's 104. And it's Kyolic garlic, aged garlic, and it has added lecithin. And I will oftentimes use that for a very short term with people with higher cholesterol. So yes, that is one time that I use it. All right, so there we go. Thanks for helping me jog my memory. That's been actually a long time since I used that product, because I always look at it from the long term. Like you can use that in the short term, but it's not on my hierarchy of nutritional supplements. Meaning there's so many other supplements I would put before that, like so many, at least. Even for cholesterol, I'd put at least a dozen supplements before that. So that's why. All right. Good question, though. Really good question. All right. Jessica's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thank you so much for all the education you share. I've learned so much from you, and I'm so grateful to have resources like yours to empower myself and my family to live a happy, healthy life. Thank you, Jessica. That's what it's all about. I have 2 separate questions that I asked in the Facebook support group, and they don't appear to have been answered before. What is your opinion on chemical feels in products like retinol as part of your regular skincare routine? As I understand it, both make your skin very sensitive to sun, requiring SPF application, which raises some red flags for me. What do you think? Okay, well, let's answer the first one. So I'm not against retinol-based products. I much prefer a more natural retinol. Retinol does work for fine lines and wrinkles and skin rejuvenation. So there's no doubt about that. One thing that I don't know, I don't know if I've ever done a podcast on this as well. But let me just see. And oftentimes, I'm not typing in the right keyword as well. But what I would say is this. I'm going to give you, again, I always give you my first answer is I worry about the level of products women and men are using, but far more women in my practice, that have retinol in them, that over time build up liver toxicity with that, the basically synthetic vitamin A. So yes, I worry about the skin being more sensitive because mainly the retinol is being used in the face, but most people are covering their face for the most part from the sun, at least to some level. Like, I will get a tan on my face. I'm not against that. It's typically just my morning walk. But then if I go to the beach or I go outside, I wear a hat, so I don't usually put on too much sunscreen on my face is because I have a hat on. But I do put it on the top of my shoulders typically, and that's, again, a zinc oxide one, a non-nanoparticle, but only if I'm outside for a long period of time. Again, I don't burn easily, but people that do certainly should not get a burn. It's very, very important. You want to get a tan, but not a burn. So my worry is with liver toxicity, over time, the level of use. So some people use it just around their eyes. Okay, probably no big deal. But over your whole face, once, twice a day, and multiple products, yeah, it could build up. No doubt about it. All right, you have a second question. What is your opinion on using mushrooms like lion's manes, chaga, and cordyceps while pregnant? I'm planning on getting pregnant in the next year, and I'm thinking about how to replace my morning coffee. Okay, get it? Yeah, I would not use them. I would not, because mushrooms are immune modulators. So yeah, they work. Like, I'm not saying they don't. We have a product called Daily Mushroom Immune Support, and it has chaga, it has cordyceps, it has reishi, it has lion's mane, it has turkey's tail, it has shiitake, it has maitake. It's great. It's a great product. It really works. Like, it's a strong product. I wouldn't take it while pregnant. So here's the thing. I'm not giving you medical advice, though. You may decide to. I don't. And I give you the same advice I would give my wife. No mushrooms during pregnancy. So what could you use, though? Well, there's lots of other products. Like, you could use a chicory root-based product, like a non-coffee one. You could also just do decaf coffee, like a Swiss water process organic decaf. Yeah, there's 13 milligrams potentially of caffeine in it. But again, there's no scientific studies that say that little caffeine causes any harm whatsoever. I mean, like, a lot of women do green tea and there's still 44 milligrams of caffeine. So you're really looking at, you don't want 100 to 200 milligrams plus caffeine while pregnant. I would say definitely not more than 100. And I would say then 1 cup of organic decaf certainly qualifies as a low level. You'll get more than that in chocolate, dark chocolate, honestly. You can get 25 milligrams of caffeine in chocolate, right? So hopefully that helps. All right, Tina's up next. Tina says, you are amazing, and thanks for all you do. Thank you, Tina. My 13-year-old son was just diagnosed with severe swelling in his sinuses, a deviated septum, and sinus polyps. Sounds like me back in the day. I have him on daily omegas, activated multi, periodic balanced zinc, daily probiotic, 3 His Pro 2 times a day, and just ordered the alkalizing vitamin C. All Equal Life products. I was forced to start him on Flonase, but I also have him on the Nutribiotic GSE nasal spray. Oh, that's good that you did that. They want to do surgery, but they agreed to see if his nose improves after 3 months on Flonase. So the 3 questions are: 1, how much alkalizing vitamin C? Got it. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else you could do? Is there anything you should do before the follow-up? He's just over 100 pounds, very fit and active. He has all the seasonal allergies and allergies to peanuts, tree nuts, sesames. So yes, I would look into the children's CBO protocol if you're not going to do the bacteria and parasite stool test with him. If you are, you'll do that first. Then you could do the children's CBO. But we'll want to figure out what's going on with the gut. And then we'll want to do a lower dosage of the CBO finisher. You could do the CBO finisher at the same time as the CBO protocol if you wanted to heal and seal that gut at a faster degree. That's simply going to be your probiotic along with your healthy gut support. But again, you're only going to use 50% of the dosage. All right. So 13-year-old child, 100 pounds, 50% of the dosage, not of the children's CBO protocol, but of the alkalizing vitamin C, and the, and again, this isn't medical advice. It's just what I would do with my own 13-year-old. I don't have one, but if I did, that's what I would do. My oldest daughter is 10 years old and she doesn't weigh anywhere near 100 pounds. So, but obviously I work with many children in my practice. What was the last thing I was going to share with you? About half the dosage for most of these nutritional supplement products full of the children's CBO, alkalizing vitamin C, split it in half twice a day. So it's a half a scoop total for the day, and that's a quarter of a scoop twice a day away from food. The Hispro you're already doing. Oh, and then the neti pot I wanted to recommend. So the neti pot, if it was my child, I would be doing the neti pot besides the GSE spray, and I would be doing that twice a day, and I would be doing 2 to 3 drops of the nutrabiotic citracidal in it, or the Citra drops that I've talked about before. So that's what I would do. Clean all that up. Get off dairy, get off gluten, get off eggs if you haven't done a food sensitivity test. Again, for all the people out there saying that eggs are the best food in the world, again, like I'm just saying, it's the number 3 food sensitivity. It's number 3 food sensitivity. So if you're not going to test, just eliminate it for a few months. That's all. Again, like we can all be friends. So yeah, gluten, dairy, no eggs, 3 months. Get that nasal passage cleaned up, fix the gut. I mean, that's going to be you're going to be so far ahead of the game. Right? Use the clean gut probiotic in the beginning, and then you can move over to the daily probiotic support. All right, that was a lot, but you can rewind it, play it again, make notes, and hopefully that'll be good. All right, let's see. Jackie's up next. My practitioner has recommended the CBO protocol, the Candida Bacteria Optimizer protocol. He's not an expert on small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. However, he has noted that my good bacteria diversity is really low. I've been on antibiotics and antimicrobials for 10 months to combat my SIBO. So far, no luck. My hydrogen level remains elevated. My question is this particular protocol good to disrupt established and tough biofilms? Or is this protocol better for someone who would be using this protocol as a first round against SIBO? Has it ever been used with success in SIBO and biofilms? Finally, is there a reason why EDTA is not included in the biofilm buster formula? Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's a good question, and thank you for writing in. So we have 2 biofilm disruptors, and the first one is called the biofilm, it's not called buster, it's biofilm disruptor, and the second one is called the fluorofilm. So you have to, and it's hard because I have a lot of podcasts, but you may not have heard the podcast on this. So how it works is this, is we go gentle, then stronger, then really strong. There is EDTA in the second month of which has the fluorofilm. So again, I can't give you medical advice. I can't tell you medical treatment plans. I've been doing this now for many, many years with digestive issues, at least a good 13, 14 years working with the hardest of the hard cases. And this is what we do. It's exactly what we do. But we add citracidal drops as well for the difficult cases. So CBO protocol plus citracidal drops for the first 3 weeks, 3 drops twice a day the first week, 4 drops twice a day the second week, 5 drops twice a day the third week, and then done with those citracidal drops, stop them. And then follow the CBO protocol as is, and that's exactly what we do. Follow the sensitive gut guide that comes along with it, and I mean, no doubt you're going to be feeling great. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Well, let's do one more question. It's a 2-parter from Alice. Hello, Dr. Cabral. I have a question regarding earth probiotic strains like B. coagulus, et cetera, et cetera. Lately, I've been seeing these products and strains being used in combination with botanicals and biofilm removers to help with SIBO. Is there any real evidence regarding soil-based probiotics, or aren't you convinced of their efficacy with SIBO or in general? Last question I forgot to add. Where we analyze the gut microbiome, we see very often low counts of specific bacteria, which is critical for the gut bacteria. Soil-based probiotics are supposed to indirectly increase this particular bacteria. I'm just not reading it out loud just to not give it as much credence. You'll see why in a moment. Do you see any valuable evidence of that? Okay, so go to stevencabral.com/podcasts. And I know for sure I've talked on soil-based probiotics before. Let me just do a quick search for you because I don't want to highlight this on the podcast, only because then it will take it away from the previous ones when people search. So let's just see if I can find it. Soil probiotic. All right, so let's see here. Well, clean water, autoimmune, bone broth. Might be on 1367. It is on episode 428. I mean, it's been a long time, obviously. And that's episode 428. I talk about it, though. stevencabral.com/428. So basically, you can go back. You can listen to that show. I used to use them, and I won't name the particular brands. You know, it's the big brand that many people use. The functional medicine-based formulas, not the, nothing against a lot of the newer ones. I just don't use those. So here's the thing. I found that it was not as effective as I would like. It contained strains and dosages that were not at the clinical levels that I wanted, and they didn't help for the most part, the people that I was looking to help with the hardest of hard cases, such as SIBO, fungal overgrowth, mold-based issues, and many others. And so honestly, I haven't seen the need. What I do is I do the CBO protocol that has the biofilm disruptors in it. And in hard cases, I use the citruscidal drops. These are all clinically proven. And then what I use is specific probiotics ranging from Saccharomyces boulardii, which is a beneficial yeast that pushes out pathogenic yeast. And then I move on to a lactobacilli, which acidifies essentially the small intestine. So it helps to then just negate the bacteria that shouldn't be living there. And then as I move to month 3, and again, I open source everything I do. I tell you exactly what I do, and you can choose to do with it what you wish, especially as a practitioner. And then I move into more strains. They're lower histamine based. They're great for populating the small intestine and then somewhat in the large intestine. And then after that, with the CBO finisher, we just go much more broad spectrum. And we've gotten great results with that. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't other ways that you could do. It's just I haven't needed them because I also then get more good prebiotics naturally through the diet that will then help to repopulate. And then again, if you're shopping at a local farmer's market, you might be getting a lot of these soil-based probiotics as well from natural produce that you're buying at local farmers markets that I typically recommend as well. So, again, but I'm not like, what I'm saying is this. I know that the protocols that I do work. I know that, and they have to be replicated, and they've been replicated now for over a decade. But I'm not saying that it's the only way, okay? So I just want to make that clear. If you have a way that's working great, fantastic. I just need it to work in 10 out of 10 cases. Like I need it to work every time. And when it doesn't work, I know how to tweak it in order to help that person. So that's the level that I have to be at, helping now, again, 2,000 appointments a month. And so I just wanted to share that. Like I have to help people. And so what I do is very specific in order to get the results that people are looking for, because people are frustrated, they're angry, they're upset that they're still sick, and they've tried so many different things. So that's why I'm very particular about what I recommend and what I don't. It's just because it has to work every time. And when it doesn't, I need to know, then I know exactly the reason why it's not working, and then I can begin to tweak it up and down, dosage, etc. So hopefully that was helpful. Really good questions today. Of course, I expect nothing less from our community. So thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, tomorrow, be right back. Mindset and Motivation Monday, our favorite way to start the week. All right, take care, everybody. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stevencabral.com/courses.